Have you ever wondered what the future of air combat looks like? We've seen stealth fighters like the F-22 and F-35 dominate the skies for decades, but what comes next? Today, we're diving deep into a concept that's pushing the boundaries of what is possible. The F-47, a theoretical next-generation fighter designed for one thing above all else: unimaginable speed. For years, the paradigm in air combat has been a delicate balance between speed, stealth, and maneuverability. The fifth-generation fighters we know today prioritize stealth, allowing them to remain undetected by enemy radar. But what if the best way to avoid a threat isn't to hide from it, but to simply outrun it? The concept of the F-47 isn't just about strapping bigger engines onto an existing airframe. It represents a fundamental rethink of fighter design. To achieve the hypersonic speeds we're talking about, we'd need a revolutionary propulsion system. Traditional turbojet and turbofan engines have their limits. The F-47 would likely employ a combined cycle engine, perhaps a system that integrates a turbine for low-speed flight with a scramjet for high-speed hypersonic travel. A scramjet, or supersonic combustion ramjet, has no moving parts like a traditional engine. It uses the aircraft's incredible forward momentum to compress incoming air, mix it with fuel, and ignite it, generating immense thrust. Getting this dual-mode system to work seamlessly would be one of the greatest engineering challenges ever undertaken. But what good is speed without an airframe that can handle it? At hypersonic speeds, the friction between the air and the aircraft's skin generates incredible heat, enough to melt conventional materials. The F-47 would need to be constructed from exotic next-generation materials. We're talking about advanced ceramic matrix composites, carbon-carbon composites, or perhaps even newly developed titanium or nickel-based superalloys. These materials would not only have to withstand extreme temperatures, but also the immense structural stresses of maneuvering at Mach 5 or beyond. The very shape of the aircraft would be dictated by aerodynamics at these speeds. Expect a highly streamlined, almost blended wing body design, with sharp leading edges to slice through the air efficiently and minimize drag and heat buildup. So, you have an incredibly fast plane. How does it fight? The weapons themselves would have to be just as advanced. Launching a missile at Mach 6 presents its own set of problems. The weapon needs to separate cleanly from the aircraft without being damaged by the sheer force of the airflow. The F-47 would likely carry its arsenal internally to maintain its aerodynamic profile, deploying weapons from a specialized bay. These weapons could be long-range air-to-air missiles specifically designed for high-speed launch, or even directed energy weapons like high-powered lasers. A laser weapon traveling at the speed of light would be a perfect complement to a hypersonic platform, capable of neutralizing targets almost instantly. But what about the pilot? The human element is perhaps the most complex challenge of all. The G-forces experienced during acceleration and maneuvering at hypersonic speeds would be beyond the limits of what a human body can withstand, even with the best G-suits available today. This leads us to one of the most significant aspects of the F-47 concept. It would almost certainly be an optionally manned or completely unmanned platform. An AI-powered F-47 could execute maneuvers that are physically impossible for a human pilot, pushing the airframe to its absolute limits without concern for blackout or loss of consciousness. An autonomous F-47, networked with satellites and other assets, could process battlefield information in milliseconds. It would use advanced sensor fusion, combining data from its own powerful radar, infrared sensors, and electronic warfare suites to build a complete picture of the battlespace. This AI pilot would make tactical decisions faster than any human opponent, identifying threats, prioritizing targets, and executing attack runs with ruthless efficiency. This doesn't just change the nature of the aircraft. It changes the very nature of the pilot. The future fighter pilot might be more of a combat systems manager, overseeing a squadron of autonomous F-47s from a ground station or a command aircraft hundreds of miles away. So how would the F-47 change the strategic landscape? Its existence would render many existing air defense systems obsolete. A fighter that can traverse continents in under an hour and strike with impunity changes all the calculations. It would be a powerful deterrent, a tool for rapid global response, and the ultimate reconnaissance platform. Imagine being able to photograph any location on Earth and be back over friendly territory before the enemy even knows you were there. The F-47 would shrink the globe, making no target truly safe from a swift and decisive strike. Of course, developing such an aircraft is a monumental undertaking. The costs would be astronomical, likely running into the trillions of dollars over the lifetime of the program. The technological hurdles in propulsion, materials science, avionics, and artificial intelligence are immense. Each component, from the engine to the flight control software, represents a massive leap beyond current technology. There are also significant ethical questions surrounding fully autonomous weapons systems that would need to be addressed. Is the F-47 just a science fiction dream? For now, perhaps. But the technologies that would make it possible are actively being researched and developed around the world. We're already seeing hypersonic missile technology becoming a reality, and experimental aircraft are pushing the speed envelope further than ever before. The F-47, or a fighter like it, isn't a question of if, but when. It represents the logical next step in a century-long quest for aerial supremacy. It's a future where speed is the ultimate armor, and the fastest to the fight is the one who wins. It's the future of air combat, and it's coming sooner than you might think. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the future of military aviation. What do you think? Is a hypersonic fighter the inevitable next step, or will stealth continue to reign supreme? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into the tech of tomorrow, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.